Okay, hello everyone, it's me again. I know I haven't been very much active on YouTube recently. I just got myself the Nintendo Switch, and also my favorite Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, which I've watched a video, a live stream of it. Vinesauce was watching. Okay, I forgot what it was, but Breath of the Wild earned the title Game of the Year. Anyway, what we're going to be talking about is my comic, Shadow Slice's Legacy. We're going to be talking about what it, what its story is supposed to be. Excuse me for my stuttering. If you guys hear me stutter, I'm trying to explain something, but my brain can't keep up with my mouth, or vice versa. Anyway, okay, let's. All right, what basically the legacy is okay. Let's talk about why I created legacy. Sorry, that's my dad. Where is it? Wait, I am on. I am on desktop. Okay, here we go. Okay, basically what the comic is supposed to display. The reason why I created this comic is because I was inspired by the 2011 remake of the TV show Thundercats that I watched when I was 14 years old. And this was before I created Shadowside's Legacy. So I'm touching it up or giving it a tune-up so it can be better. Basically, what the story is supposed to is supposed to excuse me is supposed to portray is about a male Blacoon named Shadow Slice Ethrogenita. At age 14, why is my stylus doing that? Come on. What the heck? Why is it doing that? I don't understand why it's doing that.
Alright, well, I'll see you in a few minutes. I love you. I know where you're at.
Okay, let's just use this. Because this helps. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, man. No worries. Just let me know. And I'll go brush my teeth real quick.
Basically, what Legacy is supposed to be is it's supposed to portray Shadowslay's story.
Okay.
At age 14, let me tell you a little bit about the lore. Back then when the Blacoons and the Zygots lived together, that's the Reshelton's race now. Zygots.
Well, if you get a chance to exit off, exit off.
Basically, the Blacoons, which are my custom species, they're supposed to be raccoon. Well, they're supposed to be a abnormal anthropomorphic raccoon species, which looks absolutely terrifying. Which I got that comment from CasK3 on DeviantArt. Anyway, uh, to explain this, the Reshiltons and Sadarians, that's actually how you pronounce it. Though I may modify the names to keep their original name, but actually be pronounced a little bit differently. Anyway, they lived together under under the eyes of under the watch of the Ajagars, the dragons, known as the gods to them. They actually shared each other's resources, basically sharing their food, and and they were a allied force. But until one day, the Jabo, the divine tailed beast leader, excuse me, I'm not speaking well because I haven't had anything to eat. Oh, if you guys hear me, if I fall silent, that means I'm talking to someone on Discord. Anyway, yeah, that's why I'm trying to explain this. Basically, what the comic is supposed to be. Okay, now I'm getting myself off track. What it's supposed to be is the Blacoons and the Zygots first lived together as a allied force. Back then in ancient times, Sadara was divided up into two tribes: Northern Sadara and Southern Sadara. I don't know how I pronounce that differently. They were actually, and they both had, well, both tribes had chieftains, and the result of the excuse me, and the result of Dojabo's rampage is because power went to his head. You know, like how in Adolf Hitler he became so much, so, he became so angry that he became blind. Well, this happened with Dojabo a little bit differently. The 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 cause for his rampage, the reason why the cause for the power went to his head, probably because he was jealous of the Ajagars. I'm gonna have to take more time on this, but that's my only that's my only statement. Anyway, after doing so, the the other 15 divine tail beasts, Dekabo, I forgot the other names, but also Volto's father. I forgot his name, but he's a black wolf. They fought they they fought Do, but they fought Dojabo, but they were no match of his. They were no match for his might. They tried everything they could in their power, but they were failing because he had so much Tojamai. That's actually the energy that that actually circulates on planet Sadara. It's actually pretty much, it works a little bit like chakra, but also acts a lot like magic. In a way, the the Ajagars fear that the divine. Money, I'm speaking here. Dink. That was my cat, Money. He meowed at me. You probably could have heard him. No, Money. No. He wants my attention. Anyway, the Ajagars, I'm trying to pronounce this right. The Ajagars fear that if the other 15 divine TLBs fail, the whole planet would would meet its doom. So, in case, well, to prevent that, they sent in the demon TLB spirits, which actually are my own custom spirits that I made up, but I actually was inspired by Kurama's design. If any of you are Naruto fans, you should know who Kurama is. Anyway, the point of them is they're supposed to resemble Kurama from the face. Mitsuichi, alone Kajireda, is the only one who resembles Kurama the most. Anyway, basically, to put it this way, the Ajagar's idea to save Sadara worked. Well, not Sadara, Sadara worked. And so, after the whole battle, they sealed Dojabo away into the center of the core, like the center of the planet, hoping that he would never resurface to take revenge. While doing so, the Zygots saw the whole thing happen, while the Blacoons tried to help the divine tail-beast spirits by fighting the Jabu themselves. But regardless, the Zygots shunned the Blacoons for centuries because of the lack of responsibility to keep the Jabu in mind. I'm trying to explain all this the best as I can, but like I said, I'm going to take more time to develop this comic. It is a comic that I first started when I was 15 years old. After that, well, during the battle of during the battle of the life beings and the life form between divine tail beast, demon tail beast, and Blacoons, the late midnight, Janita, Shadow Side's ancestor, Alpha, and Darlene is a Alpha Blacoon. She has the characteristics of a Wadi. No, sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the interruption there. Darlene is a Alpha Blacoon, meaning a female Blacoon that gets the genetics of a male Blacoon. Males are larger and darker than females, so you would expect Darlene to be bigger. But she stays the same size, but her fur color is darker. Anyway, she is Shadowside's ancestor, ancient ancestor, and she saw the whole battle. That's why she began to well, the that's why she began to write a book about the whole battle, but it was kept hidden away. In other words, to explain this a little better, they the okay, the Sadarians were trying everything they could, but since they were shunned because of their lack of responsibility, they tried to prove to the Zygots that they're still capable of keeping the spirits in line, but it didn't seem to work. However, the humans found out this coincidence, this catastrophic event, which could have caused,
Yeah.
which could have,
Okay, cool.
which could have, which could have destroyed Sadara and all of its inhabitants, and also leading to Darlene's demise.
Yeah, I'm gonna brush my teeth here ready to go. But
In other words, but thanks to the Blacoons, they were spared for another day. To put it this way. But regardless, the Blacoons were still shunned. And so, centuries forward, Shadow's Lyzetho Janita was born into the mythical world. But as a half-demon tailed beast, but he doesn't even know. But when he was young, he didn't know of that part, because his father, Darkslide, of the king of the Blacoons, he's a Omega. He's a Omega practically. My Blacoon species is a little weird, but once you get to know them, you'll understand them. Anyway.
I'm gonna brush my teeth.
To put it this way, okay, my species may be a little weird, but like I said, once you get to know them, you'll understand how they work. since the Blacoons are allied with the spirits, the reason why they are is because I tried to make them related to the Native Americans here in North America back in times where before the Europeans or the British came to North America. That was when the Indians, well, that was when the Native Americans were around. But after the whole battle, the excuse me, the Sadarian society has evolved from that, their but their but their tradition remains the same. By that, I mean by that they still celebrate the when a when a okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to explain all this to a frickin' A. So, okay, why is this happening to me? Anyway, fudge. This is what I should eat. So we won't, that way I won't have to feel this. Anyway, moving on. What I'm trying to explain here is their traditions still remain the same. Every year they howl loud to let everyone else know that the Blacoons are still there. But also in a way to call to their ancestors. Basically, they celebrate the day where Sadara first became a a kingdom. And I should write that as a timeline. Probably hear my dad right now, he's just being silly. And also, another thing they do is when a demon tailed possessor uh fudge. When it probably shouldn't wait till my dad leaves. Oh fudge. Sorry, this is not very good.
I'm heading out. Waiting for the missus right now. I'll see you in a little while, baby.
Yes, my dad calls me that. I'm still his little girl to him. Anyway, another thing that they do as a excuse me a oh my god, I mean stars, as a freaking tradition. There we go. Sorry, I have a hard time speaking. Sorry for the for the tone in my voice. Anyway, to as a tradition to their ancestry. What are you doing, Tabitha? By the way, I'm living in the attic. That's why I don't get privacy. Oh my stars, why is my chest feeling heavy? Anyway, what they do as a tradition to stay true to their heritage, when a possessor it gets used to their new demon tail beast spirit, the Blacoons get together and then, well, the Blacoons get together and do a dance. It's a spiritual one. Therefore, it it's it the only way for it to work is if you have a Jinjaku, a demon tail beast master, to actually dance along with that new possessor. And once that happens, they'll both start dancing. Therefore, the ancient demon tail beast spirits souls will start and will will in, will appear and start encircling them. Which mainly they'll encircle the new possessor instead of the master. I'm gonna say Shadow Slide as an example because later on in Legacy and Adventures, I'm not gonna spoil this because basically Shadow Slide becomes a Jinjaku of his own demon tailed beast right after Legacy and AOSS. Adventures of Shadow Slide, which ties to which ties to Legacy. It links Adventures to Legacy because in order for Underslide that to actually be the main antagonist, I put him in Legacy because I'm just going all over the place. Basically, to put it this way, the reason why I put Underslide in Legacy, okay. He's a soulless copy of the real Shadow Slide. And he's going to be the main antagonist. But I put him in there in Legacy. I put him in there for a reason, but I won't explain why. But this is going to be oh my god. It's going to be a interesting turn. Because later on, after when I finish Legacy, things will start to go crazy. Like I'm not even lying. It will get crazy. Anyway, that's what happens. And during the dance, the demon tail beast and the possessor it's inside, its cursed energy that the possessor's body is used to will start to bind with the possessor's soul. Yes, the cursed energy will bind to the possessor's soul, therefore making the demon tail beast a part of that person. Interesting turn, right? So if anyone tries to remove the demon tail beast from that possessor, they can only remove half, because if they attempted to remove the entire spirit, let's say Mitsuichi, Shadow Slide will become unconscious because they're therefore very vulnerable. Very, very, very vulnerable. If you, this actually relates. Anyway, uh, also if a demon deadly spirit is angry, it'll attempt to possess its own possessor and will take control of its of that person's body. But here's the little thing. Curse energy is actually a concentrated force. It's a dense and concentrated force. Therefore, if you have too much inside of you, it will end it will bring you to your demise. Therefore, killing you if you have too much. Because what it does, it's because if you even use it while your body's not even used to it, it will do some harming effects. Anyway, back to the comic. Basically, it's a story I wanted to portray Shadowside's origin, making him the basically displaying or explaining how he became who he is now. And he had to go through a lot just to become this man with so much power, but is able to keep all of it in check, including his newfound powers. Not his Dojimai ones, his cursed energy powers. He was born half demon tail beast, but he didn't know about it in Legacy. At age 21, he experienced a major surge of cursed energy, because Mitsuichi was trying to possess him, but failed because John put a transmutation seal on him, on Shadowside's chest to stop Mitsuichi. But John didn't tell Shadowside because he didn't want to scare him, or perhaps to put it this way, frighten him, where he gets sent into a panic. Yes, this was before Shadowside was actually this was before he became very courageous and vigilant, like he is now. After that, Shadowside's father did not want to bring that up to him because he knew it would scare him, which led to Shadowside learning to control Mitsuichi on his own because his father was so scared of the Nine Tails that resides within Shadowside. By the way, Mitsuichi is a Dark Online Demon Tail spirit with 9 tails. And he's able to turn his eyes black and violet. That's why Dark Online Demon Tail spirits are capable of that. That's why in the picture on DeviantArt, that's why I drew Shadowside's eyes black and violet. That's the reason why. And he's even able to the frickin' show blue in it. Well, the blue flame, the dark blue fire in his eyes. I mean, the dark blue fire that's shown on his shadow gauntlets and Trent's jacket to appear in his eyes. It's just crazy. The things that I make up it's just absolutely crazy. Anyway, continuing on. Basically, after the whole battle with the spirits, are forgetting you guys all way off track. Fudge. I'm not even in complete rhythm with Legacy. I'm trying to get myself back into rhythm here. Basically, to explain this, the humans found out that the Blacoons also also learned about this, and so they thought and and they knew that the Blacoons were irresponsible for their for okay. They knew that the Blacoons tried, but they tried to put the Java back in line. Excuse me, but they failed, and so they decided to wrench the power from decided to okay. What I wrote on Google Docs is they decided to try and replace the replace the Blacoons with themselves, making them basically the humans wanted to be the most dominant, wanted it to be the new ruler of Sadara, and so the cats actually wanted to, and so the humans decided to join or vice versa. Anyway, and so the human and the humans and the zygotes allied up to wrench to take the dominance away from the Blacoons, but there's a fatal flaw in that. There's a major fatal flaw that will lead Sadara into darkness and fear. The humans and the zygotes have no history with the gods whatsoever. Therefore, they won't know how to rule Sadara. The Blacoons all the Blacoons themselves know how. And so the Ajagars, the gods, fear that that day will come. And so they entitled Shadowslay's father to tell his son of his prophecy, because back then, over the centuries, Shadowslay's ancestors fought valiantly to preserve their pride for the Sadarian kingdom, but they died in doing so. So they cost. So in terms, they sacrificed their lives to keep their pride. Shadowslide doesn't know that at age 23. He just knows that he's just a prince of his own father. And so for and so this happened while Shadowside was oh stars, come on. This was when Shadowside was just a 14-year-old pup. He didn't know what was really going on because his father didn't tell him, and I'll explain why. If if Darkslide actually told his younger son about what was about the battle, he would go out there and just take on the Zygots and humans himself, basically showing that he's basically being reckless. And so he didn't tell Shadowslide until he was at a reasonable age, like age 23. But before that, he entitled the Ajagars to tell him, because to put this through, they are able to see in the future what will happen. And so that's the reason why Shadowslide was selected. Not only that he has that prophecy, well, not only that they can see in the future, but he actually has a connection with the ancient heroes, which basically are his ancestors. And they too wielded a enchanted weapon that he wields now. that is called the Dark Excalibur, which largely resembles a spadroon. If you guys know what a spadroon is, it's a single-bladed weapon, very much like a katana, but it was wielded by the English. I think the English and the British soldiers back then. And I didn't know about that until I watched a episode of Forged in Fire. Anyway, it's a enchanted weapon that was forged. The purple blade, it came from a claw of a demon-tailed beast spirit, a ancient demon-tailed beast spirit. But it was binded to the metal, which a large pole of metal which was shaped into a blade, but there was no blade on the actual metal, so they used the sharp end of a demon tail of his claw to actually bind that to the metal bar specifically. Since the demon tail of his claw was so durable, it actually handled multiple blows without even breaking. And so that's why the Dark Excalibur can actually cut through anything, is because of its blade. It's not actually metal. Just it's so durable that it acts like metal, like iridium. But really, it's just a demon tail with claw that is just sharp. The blade itself is severely. I keep forgetting that term. It's the blade of the Dark Excalibur is extremely serrated, which means it can actually shred anything that in its path. And it's why I say enchanted is because it actually contains dark magic, but it has a spirit of its own, very much like the Dark Excalibur, the Master Sword in the Legend of Zelda series, mainly Skyward Sword. Yeah, if you guys know that game. Actually, I shouldn't even be saying that, because I know a lot of you know about the Legend of Zelda series, because the Master Sword actually contains a spirit inside of it, which is named Fi. I thought it was pronounced Fi, but no, it's Fi. She's the spirit of the Master Sword. She calls Link Master. Phantom, that's actually its real name. Phantom is a dark ghost. Long ago, he was fused to the Dark Excalibur. Phantom has no true form. Basically, that dark ghost is a shapeshifter. Basically, it'll take the form of its master. That's the reason why it's called Phantom Shadow Slide, is because it takes the physical appearance of Shadow Slide, but it still has that black ghastly look. And that's why. Yes. Are you up here? Oh, yeah, you are. Sorry, my cousin's sleeping. Anyway, I should keep it down. My cousin's sleeping. There's a lot I'm explain. I should. Anyway, to put this through, Phantom doesn't really have a true form. That's why he takes the form of Shadow Slice after doing it, because he's actually able to do that. He can Phantom can actually speak. Phantom can actually speak, but he's the spirit that resides in the Dark Excalibur. But it can actually emerge from the blade. And actually possess someone. The Dark Ghosts can do that. Dark Ghosts are spirits that only come out at night. But they have different colors. Phantom's is red. Yes, Phantom has a red outline and red eyes, but they're brighter than Shadow's eyes. I'm also drawing at the same time because I'm working on this evolution page. To put this through, that's the reason why Phantom can actually take the form, because he has no true form. Anyway, Zedden is also a dark ghost too, but he has a form. He looks like a fox, but just a fox from the head. But he has only like 3 fingers. Three fingers. Not 5, not 4, not 2, which is impossible, but 3. 2 fingers and a thumb. And to explain why Shadowsly is a descendant of the ancient heroes is because the heroes also were able to get in contact with the Ajagars in the spirit realm. Shadowsly can do the same, because by doing so, if he accesses the spirit realm, he has to enter a deep slumber in order for his soul to actually leave his body. That's what happens. But it takes like an hour 30 minutes for Shadowsly to actually fall asleep completely. Then after a few minutes he'll wake up in the spirit realm, because actually his soul is because the spirit is no longer in his body. He's just and his body's just back at the world of living. Like how in Bleach, Ichigo can actually leave his body. Just like that. But Shadowsly is actually wondering why he's in the spirit realm. It's because he was called by Zedden. Zedden the Dark Ghost informs Shadowsly what's going on, but not entirely. Because he was told by the Ajagars to inform him, but don't expose him too much, because in that time, Shadowside's mind is still fragile. It'll be so overwhelming for him to handle. In terms, it'll just drive him nuts. So they had to be easy on his mind. So they actually let him process it easier instead of just saying it all at once to him. And he was sent back to the world of living. Because even when he leaves his body, he still has to go back. And that's the reason why Shadowfly is a descendant of his ancestors. Plus, not only that, he can wield the Dark Excalibur. Phantom calls Shadowfly Master. You know Shadowfly has no idea why he calls him Master. But Shadowfly remembers why. He is actually tied to his ancestors. Because what he has to do is he has to finish he has to finish their mission, and that is to preserve the pride of the Sadarian race, of the Blacoon race. That's Shadowfly's main role as a hero. So along the way, he meets new villains, large and small, powerful and weak. And along the way, he'll meet allies too that will help him along his quest. But he'll have to overcome challenges that he couldn't face, or he has to face alone. To become strong, you have to face your fears and handle the trials on your own. That's what makes you strong. Therefore, that's what made Shadowfly strong. Is he had to face his fears and overcome them with courage. Basically, he's learning what courage really is. And if he wants to overcome it, he has to face it. And I actually got quite a couple fans, which is a good start. Even though I already got fan art at the very beginning of Legacy's production. But overall, the reason why I created this story is because I feel like I wanted to portray Shadowside's story, or explain why he became the man who he is now. This is going to take a lot of time for me to actually put together, but it's actually worth it. And I hope I can get so much, and I'm going to work hard for this, because this is a comic that I will never forget to create. And I'm making my promise to my original editor, Conrado Cirillo, who died last year. I'm never gonna stop working on Legacy, because It's a comic that he wanted me to make sure that I would succeed. That's the reason why I'm going to continue working on this comic. Not only just for fame, but also for fun. Because that's what it's. Because that's Legacy's original intent was to be made for fun, and also to show a story on this male Sadarian. But also his entire tale will also be a love story too. Not only about a hero tale, but also a love story. I sincerely apologize for my for my set-offs and basically getting you guys off track. I tend to do that, but basically I wanted to make this comic because I feel like I wanted to portray Shadow's story. You know, I probably said this like thousands of times. Still, I want to portray Shadowfly's origin, to show what he became, what he's evolved from, and to show what he's overcome, to show what he has overcame, uh, the trials and error he faces, the fears he faces, the amount of enemies he overcomes. He learns all that on on his adventures, and in time he'll find out what he's really capable of. Therefore, he's finding his true potential as a male Sadarian. That is being leader, leading his people into a new era, and protecting those who are in danger. He learns how to be relentless too. It's because his will is strong. He never gives up on he never gives up, honestly. He always tries and tries no matter what comes his way. He learns on on his own how to be menacing, how to be terrifying, how to use animal fears, how to use human fears on his own. To put this clear, this is the reason why I wanted to explain about this comic, because a lot of people are actually interested to see it take off, and it always has been a crossover and always will. Not by a crossover meaning using characters that already have been used in other comics. Though I'm wanting to portray Shadow's story, because this is a good way to get to know him. Because if you really want to know Shadow's life, you have to read the whole entire. You have to go. You have got to know his true origin. Basically, like what the king said, to know calamity's to to know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know from an ancient long past. The Demon King was born into this world, but his transformation into malice is the horror you see now. To know the history of the Shadow Dragon Lord, you 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 have to learn about his origin and his true personality. He originally was a scared he originally was a scared little pup, but over the but over his lifetime he has grew into a courageous adult Blacoon who shows the pride of his who 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 displays the spirit and pride of his people, making Shadowfly strong and wise. It's what makes him king, future king. And 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 when he comes back to his father, Darkseid will start to notice that his son is no longer a scared pup. Has always reside within the protection of Sadara's walls. Two walls actually. Shadowfly is no longer a scared pup. He is a man, a courageous male Blacoon that can overcome that has overcame anything. But the downfall is this is what's going to lead to Shadowfly's insanity. Is he sees himself become the villain rather than die a hero like his ancestors did. Thank you very much. This is the entire comic that I've been wanting. Okay, now I'm just getting myself. I'm just teasing myself. Anyway, I have worked on a small concept of a Zygote soldier, but I haven't worked very much on it because I've been playing the Nintendo Switch recently. Anyway, I hope this explanation is clear enough for you to understand, because I'm not giving up on Legacy no matter what. I am going to be redoing it mostly, but I'm not going to be moving. But I'm not going to be. But I'm not going to be touching any. But I'm not going to be touching anything that actually ties to its original version. Thank you very much.